Well, man, today I just got absolutely touched by the NASDAQ. Unfortunately, I'll show you guys in a second here. I actually performed really good, and then it just didn't end very well. Partially my fault, but we just had some, I don't know. Today was not great in general. We had some really good moves, but there was no entries, and I got lucky because I got in pre-market because I saw an opportunity and I should have cashed out and I didn't because I was super confident in this trade. As you guys can see in a second, the volume was just moving great. Everything was going good. We were blowing through rejection blocks, blowing through fair value gaps, and then we just kind of reversed off of thin air. I mean, there was an hourly gap there, but it was mitigated. So we reverse, dump like crazy. I get break even. As you can see here, I took these two trades in Asia yesterday just because my trade copier was bugging. I did blow those other two evals, so it was like being weird. It was like copying on the evals that were blown, but then I also was like copying on the live account. And the only way I found to fix it was to take a trade on this and then clear it out after. So I just got these two break evens in Asia, and then these five trades or yeah, four trades this morning. So you can see I took this one pre-market, added two into it, which kind of fucked me up. But either way, I wasn't surviving that anyways. And then I took one after and got decimated within 2 minutes, as you can see. But let's get into the charts. $500 loss across all accounts. That leaves me not much left to work with. But we did have news, 5:30. That actually made a big wick, but it got taken out right away. And then more news at 7. So what kind of happened to me today was I was wanting this 4-hour unmitigated to get taken. And as you can see, we came about 80 points, 70, 80 points from tapping into it, which to me, I thought we should have got up into it. But we ended up respecting this 4-hour gap, which was unmitigated. So I kind of somewhat understand why we reversed. But if you guys saw this trade in the moment, the way it was moving, like I had so much confidence in it, I didn't even think about taking profit. And then we had this hourly gap up here that was obviously not completely mitigated, but we did tap into it here. So I just did not expect what we got, and you can see how big this wick is on the hourly. Get rid of this. Like we just had a huge dump here, huge sell off, like almost 300 points. But to me, we are super bullish today. We had came down into this, I believe, weekly gap here, wicked it out, bounced off it very nicely. And I seen this dude who got in a long down here, and he's holding it to all-time highs. He's up like 120 bands right now. And I actually think there's like, I thought he was crazy when he first did it, but I actually think that shit might hit now. Obviously, there'll be retraces in between, but I do think we might see all-time highs sooner than later. But back into my trade today. So we did bounce off this hourly, and my target was like literally right about here. So we came about 100 points from my target, which kind of licks. But coming in to market open, if my shit's gonna load here, let's see what's going on with the Wi-Fi. Just give me a second here, guys. Should be loaded up now. So as you can see, we had Asia and London lows, and that was it. We had a bunch of trend line liquidity here as well. I guess it was another reason we reversed. But like I said, I got in pre-market. As you can see, we come down into this rejection block, and we sweep this London low. And this just looked too clean for me to not take it, right? But the problem was I didn't get in with size because it's pre-market, obviously risky with how volatile market open's been lately. But as soon as we closed this 5-minute, I ended up waiting a few minutes here till we got this move up, and that is where I entered after we closed that 5-minute candle. So I entered here, kind of just turned my phone off. I only got in with 1 micro. My stops were below this rejection block. And like I said, guys, I was kind of targeting the moon here, not going to lie. But I had my targets up there. And I added, once we inverse this gap, and then once we blew through this rejection block off market open, obviously ideally a better entry would have been right here, still pre-market, but we did tap back into this gap, and this was like A plus, A plus, A plus, like amazing, other than the fact that it was pre-market. But we had came down, we tapped in a rejection block, we swept a low, and we also tapped in this 15-minute fair value gap. Like, this was just like money, so I had to take it, but I didn't get in with enough size because I was just worried about a death candle at open. So I waited to add, which ended up moving my position basically all the way up to right here. And that is where I ended up going break even. As we come all the way up, we ran very good. Like, from my original entry, I caught about 200 points. And as soon as we hit this gap, we just free fall. And like you can see, I had a long way before I was break even. I had 200 points. So like, I wasn't even tripping. I'm like, there's no way. Like, I'm like, we've blown through this 5-minute rejection block. We've blown through this 5-minute rejection block. We have now inverse this very strong 15-minute gap. And like, things were looking good. We were on the cusp of inversing this hourly. Like, we were very well above it. And we just like dump. It just like dump. I mean, like, no retraces at all in the 1 minute. And we dumped 428 points before we got like a little bit of like a slowdown. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like you guys can see how strong we were pushing here. Like this, we were just blowing through everything. So like, I wasn't even tripping, bro. Like, I was like, I'm like, we might get a little bit of a pullback. We created a bunch of gaps here. We created a nice 15-minute here, which my break even was below. We created all these 5-minute gaps. I'm like, if anything, we're just going to retrace and we're going to continue higher. Like, you know, we're only 70 points from mitigating this gap. There's no reason why we shouldn't hit it. I mean, that could have been my own stupidity, but I guess we grab all this trend line, we tap as hourly, and we dump. So that stops me out break even there. And at this point, I was looking for a re-entry because I was just still super set on longs, man, which I guess wasn't the play. But we now keep this on the screen. We now tap back into this 15, and also, this is why I entered this trade. If you take the low here up to this high, and again, sorry if I'm doing this a little bit wrong, still working on it, but we come down and we hit the 79% extension. And if I could show you the 30-minute, we did get a good 30-second candle right here, as you can see the wick, and we wick back into this rejection block. And obviously we're still respecting the 15-minute, and we tap into this LFVG here and we respect it with this nice big wick. I figure I enter low size here, and we've already tapped in the 79% extension. Or sorry, I got in on this candle here, and my stops got hit pretty damn fast. But at this point, I was just targeting back up to this high, and my stops were there. And this shit just got absolutely blown through, like instantly, like death candle, done. In hindsight, this probably wasn't the best trade. Kind of took it off a hope and a prayer, but that cost me $500 as a loss today. And I forgot to mention I was up about 1,000 on this first trade, so realistically I should have just walked away at that point. But yeah, that second trade, I was just super bullish, but we ended up blowing through everything. There was not a single entry on a short, in my opinion, that you could have been confident in. Just like some janky ass price action, bro. Like if I didn't enter pre-market, there was nothing. I wouldn't have taken shit today. It just, because we didn't even inverse this 15 on this first candle here. We didn't get it till after market was open, and we already ripped up at that point. And then shorts, if you're taking it back on the way down, we did blow through this rejection block and this fair value gap, but we were this close to Asia. So I don't know, man. This was a kind of just a rough day. Very good volume, but just sloppy execution points, and I paid for it. We did get a decent rejection block bounce here off the low as well, but we did come back down. That would have been a break even trade most likely. So yeah, that's it for me today. Like I said, I don't got much left, but Monday is a holiday in Canada, so I will be able to trade at home, which will be nice. I'm going on vacation, so I have to bring my laptop. I won't be on the PC, but that's all right. Done that plenty of times. So yeah, Monday there is news, so it should be decent. The outlook for me now is definitely going to be looking more bullish. We're still respecting this gap. We'll see where we open, obviously, but we do have this unmitigated gap down here as well, so we could push lower, we could push higher. It's 50-50 in this point. I'm just hoping we don't get stuck in another range, because that sucked ass when we were in this range up here. But we did have this daily rejection block we just tapped into here, so that is a little bit concerning for me, and this unmitigated daily gap, but we didn't tap into that, so that is a good thing on the buy side. But the rejection block is a little bit scary. We could rip down further, but how much further, I don't know. Like I said, guys, I usually kind of have an idea the week before about next week, but at this point it could go either way, so we'll see what happens over the weekend. But I will be back Monday night. I gotta drive home in the morning, so I'll have a video for you guys Monday night. See if I can save these accounts. If not, we're back to eval jail. So that's gonna suck, but hopefully that's not the case, and we can keep rolling. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and leave a like, comment, subscribe if you did, as usual. And we'll catch you guys on Monday. Peace out.